Why Akuma is top tier. In every Street Fighter game, you don't pick Akuma. You accept a pact. The moment the red mane and those prayer beads walk on screen, the match tilts. The opponent sits up, the crowd leans in. Somewhere a voice says, "Here we go." Players joke that he's fair and balanced, with a straight face and a smirk. The irony is part of the package, and the wild part? People still love him for it. They don't want him nerfed into boredom. They want him right on the edge. Hot enough to burn your fingers, but just cool enough to hold. Why does Akuma live near the top of every game he touches? Not just as a number, but as an idea. The answer is simple and maddening. He breaks rules in ways that open options, test nerve, and reward mastery. He's a glass cannon with a steel will, under HP and over-armed. Trim him and the specialists adapt. Patch him and he reroutes. The cycle repeats. He descends. He dominates. He gets shaved down. He adapts. And somehow, when the dust settles, he's still there. Top tier or close enough to shape the entire conversation. Akuma didn't debut like a regular roster slot. He arrived like a thunderclap, secret, brutal, unmistakably overtuned. From day one, the kit told the story. Overwhelming offense, suffocating screen control, and the ever-present sense that one mistake means a 10-second seminar on consequences. Players remember the early aura like a fable. Air fireballs that turned the sky into private property, dragon punches that erased bad ideas, red fireballs that felt like court orders. That first impression stuck. Even when the numbers changed, the myth didn't. He isn't a character so much as a storm system that rolls into tournaments and forces everyone to carry umbrellas. The temptation is to say he's top tier because damage. That's shallow. Lots of characters hit hard. Akuma's strength is a network of tools that stack advantages and multiply decisions from the first frame. It starts with a move that shouldn't be legal in polite company, the air fireball. It's not just a projectile, it's a portable pause button. It freezes neutral, corrals movement, and flips turns. Jump and he meets you. Walk and he cuts you off. Block and he lands plus and keeps asking questions. Even when counterplay exists, the tax is heavy. You need spacing, timing, and a plan. He needs a button and a read. Then there's Demon Flip. That arc across the screen isn't just mobility. It's a menu. Palm to stuff anti-airs. Throw to bully blockers, dive to skew hurt boxes. Layer it with ground fireballs, a DP that keeps your hands honest, and the ever-present raging demon threat, and you get enforced hesitation. Hesitation is where he eats. The best part, worst if you're fighting him, is that none of these options are gimmicks when learned. They scale into damage, corner carry, and Oki. They convert scrambles into set play and stray hits into checkmate. He doesn't rely on one party trick. He's a Swiss Army knife in a game where most people brought a spoon. The counterweight is the glass cannon tag. Low health, often lower stun. On paper, that's a leash. In practice, it's a filter. Beginners melt. Intermediates get greedy and crash. Masters turn that tiny HP bar into a dare, surfing at the lip of disaster and making it look calm. That's why so many veterans say he isn't broken most of the time. He's violently efficient in the right hands. He's an IQ test disguised as a fireball. If you don't respect space, you lose. If you do, he makes you prove it again in the next second. Flinch once and the round accelerates from first gear to fifth. His influence isn't limited to Street Fighter. Drop him into another franchise and he warps the weather. Import 2D rules into 3D streets and ask the locals to keep up. Jump arcs the engine wasn't built to police. Meter conversions that rewrite what safe means. Projectiles that tilt angles the home game never planned for. People joke he broke another series, and it isn't just a joke. The value is clear. This character exports power. He's dangerous in any language. But was he always the absolute #1 in Street Fighter proper? No, and that's a useful truth. Third Strike had phases where Chun-Li, Yun, and Ken sat on the summit. Street Fighter 4 shuffled the deck patch by patch and region by region. In late Street Fighter 5, other picks stole the spotlight. These exceptions matter. They keep the conversation honest. They also hide the deeper pattern. Even when he wasn't king, he remained the measuring stick. Are your anti-airs precise? Do you have a plan for demon flip? Can you live through a corner sequence without panicking? Those answers decided who played on Sunday. Then Street Fighter VI redrew the map. Drive mechanics gave everyone new ways to steal turns, break guards, and blow up mistakes. Many feared what would happen when Akuma's classic kit met Drive Rush, Drive Impact, and modern controls. The prediction wrote itself: give a surgeon a power tool and the surgery gets faster. The reality was exactly what veterans expected. He was terrifying, of course. Demon Flip layered over Drive created routes that looked cruel. Air Fireball into Drive Rush stilts neutral and accelerates momentum. Modern controls trimmed execution and opened the door for new blood, but the system also gave defenders real answers. DHX punished autopilot patterns. Parry mind games gave brave players a way to say no. The result? A character who looked like his legend promised, never safe to ignore, fully capable of flipping around with one read, and permanently on the short list of names you pray to avoid in top 8. Some argued he felt less fragile than in past generations. Others said his HP still asked for discipline. Both can be true. What's undeniable is the core experience. The air felt taxed, the ground felt tense, and every knockdown sounded like a clock starting. You could feel the room change when he got meter. Maybe a demon, maybe a bait, maybe you stuffed it and felt like a superhero for 5 seconds until the next flip sailed in with different timing. That's Akuma. Every answer must be renewed. The culture sustains it. Akuma doesn't just fight, he symbolizes a posture. He's the one who kept walking when everyone else found balance and called it wisdom. Fans accept him at the edge because the character is the edge. Secret boss entrances, cameos where he shows up, wipes his feet on the welcome mat, and asks the local champion to dance. Transformations that imply he's been holding back the whole time. Even in single player, he's a test. If the rival won't rise, he'll train his own. He isn't eternal, nobody is, but he acts like time owes him a debt. Passing the torch isn't kindness, it's strategy. That mythology bleeds into psychology. People say he's fine unless a master is piloting him because he's a high-ceiling character with public consequences for sloppy play. Autopilot and you explode. Toss air fireballs without a read and you get dunked. Demon flip into a ready anti-air and the round flips back. So on random nights he looks tame. Then a specialist sits down and turns the matchup into a maze with one entrance and no exit. That's his paradox. He's deadly, but he doesn't hold your hand. He gatekeeps himself. Any given weekend, you might watch mirror matches where both sides crumble. The next, one player makes him look like a law of nature and the discourse resets. People forget his true value isn't ease of use. It's how many losing positions he converts into coin flips, then into momentum, then into checkmate. He compresses the skill curve around a few precise reads. He punishes hesitation with interest. He turns screen position into a win condition faster than most people can adjust. Zoom in on nostalgia and it gets sharper. Old routes like jump back air fireball live rent-free in muscle memory. Even if the current patch reshapes them, people still react to the ghost of those tactics. The aura makes you play differently before the round starts. Try designing a fair fight around that. Every patch cycle writes the same poem. Step 1. People see his tool list and brace for impact. Step 2. Nerves settle as matchups mature. Anti-airs sharpen, parries clean up, DI checks the reckless. Step 3. Specialists find new routes. Odd spacings that duck a normal and still land palm. Safe jump timing off weird knockdowns. Micro walk demons that snatch backdash habits. Step 4. He climbs again. Maybe not to rank 1, but high enough that you have to plan for him. Always. Even when devs swing the hammer, the anvil is patience. Can you make him choose between 2 bad options? Deny his favorite arcs with preemptive air-to-airs? Armor through red fireball spaces most won't risk? The answers exist, but they require discipline. Many players want anti-Akuma tech to feel like a flowchart. It's not. He resists automation. He forces decisions in live time. Modern design trends should blunt him. They usually fertilize the soil. Strong defense means stronger bait and punish. Universal mechanics create more decision points for him to manipulate. Modern controls lower the barrier to entry, increasing his representation and giving specialists more data to study. He thrives in systems that reward initiative, spacing, and layered offense. He lives in gray zones where a strong player reads your heart rate as easily as your frame data. As long as he can tax the sky, threaten the ground, and cash out fear, he will matter. This is why he can be OP for most of his existence and still be adored. He's the final exam you want on your transcript. Fans cheer the atrocities he commits and still pray their mains keep that one tool that checks full-screen fireballs or a greedy demon attempt. When he wins, part of the crowd nods, order restored. When he loses, the pop is louder because slaying the demon always hits different. There's also the theatrical angle. Shin Akuma and Oni imply that the playable version is a polite compromise. By lore logic, full power would be unprintable. So when he's only top tier, the community shrugs. Of course he is. That narrative gives devs room to tune him without killing the fantasy. It gives fans permission to enjoy the menace without demanding a ban. He's supposed to feel unfair. That's the point. The trick is keeping him just this side of absurd. Stop short of the era where he shatters the stage lights. Stay where perfect play can still beat him and nerves can still lose to him. Strip away the fear and the memes and he offers a curriculum. He teaches spacing by charging rent in neutral. Resource management by showing how fast turns change. Mental resilience because if you lose composure at +2, you're already -10 in your head. For Akuma players, the lessons are brutal and priceless. Value reads over flowcharts, sharpen anti-airs until they click like a seatbelt. Time meaty pressure without greed. Convert any stray hit into corner plus frames and leave just enough on the table to bait the tech you want next time. Love risk. Fear it. Live at the speed of decision. Community jokes become truth through repetition. Fair and balanced, said with a grin, admits he's unfair and we're okay with it. He breaks other games is a scar told as a story. Glass Cannon acknowledges HP while reminding you that cannons decide wars, and the whispered hope is always the same. Give us Akuma right on the edge. The edge is where the game turns electric. Every game needs a yardstick. In Street Fighter, Akuma is the metal ruler on the desk. Players measure themselves against him because they must. Can you navigate airspace as well as he controls it? Force respect on defense like he demands it on offense? Turn a half chance into a checkmate the way his roots are built to do? Designers use him the same way. Roll him into the system and see what breaks. If he detonates everything, you found weak walls. If he excites without burning the building down, you threaded the needle that makes tournaments sing. That's his secret job, quality assurance for chaos. So why is Akuma top tier in every game? Because he's designed to be not as a mistake, but as identity. An apex predator tuned just low enough that the ecosystem can survive. Built from parts that stay powerful across engines and patches, air control, layered mobility, momentum conversion, and a super that taxes your soul as much as your life bar. His weaknesses are real, but framed to reward mastery and punish laziness. That's the winning formula for a character who lives in top tier without needing to crown himself king every season. You can change buttons, tweak frames, trim routes, but as long as he taxes the sky, threatens the ground, and cashes out fear, he's going to matter. Specialists will keep setting the pace. Everyone else will keep labbing anti-flip timing and praying they don't blink when the screen goes dark. Here's the truth nobody likes to say out loud. We don't want a balanced Akuma. We want this Akuma, the one who makes finals feel dangerous and makes victories feel like stories. Trim him, and he adapts. Buff him, and he terrifies. Leave him on the edge and the game crackles. That's why he's top tier across eras. That's why he shows up in other franchises and steals the spotlight. And that's why the next time those bees hit the screen and the room goes quiet, you'll feel it in your chest before the first button press. You're not just fighting a character, You're stepping into a legend that refuses to retire. And that's exactly how it should be.